Hey, this is Javril from Javril.com, also known as Mr. Think Outside the Box. And today, what I want to share with you is Black billionaires. And I'm really excited to share, this topic with you because they are some of the most influential and just mind-altering people, that you'll ever come across. And I actually did this same video back in 2008. The list has changed, a little bit. Some people have fallen off, some people have added. And that video racked up over 100,000 views. So I thought, definitely let me come do this video again with an updated 2000, and we're going into 2013. So just sit back, relax, hope I can give you some awesome information, and just enjoy the list. And coming in at the top of our list is Mohammed Al-Modi, coming in at $12.3 billion and representing Saudi Arabia. He's actually born in Ethiopia, and he lived there for quite a while, but then he moved on to Saudi Arabia, where he represents now, and he lives. And he made a lot of his money in the oil industry and also real estate. And now he's moved a lot more into oil refineries, and he invests a lot in Sweden, Ethiopia, and a lot of places internationally. And one other cool thing about Mr. Muhammad here is he's a really big soccer fan, if that makes any difference. So he's got to be kind of cool. And he does a lot for the community. He does a lot of giving back, a lot of philanthropy work, and he donates millions and millions of dollars, giving back to the communities that basically helped raise him. And that's what I've seen, throughout the whole group of the Black billionaires are really good at giving back and making opportunities for people that are coming up. Number 2 on the list is Aliko Dangote from Nigeria, coming in at $11.2 billion. And he used to be number 1 last year, but he had about 2.5, almost 3 mil dropped off his list due to the Nigerian stock market. It kind of took a crash, and he lost quite a bit of his wealth. But he's made a lot of his money in flour, sugar, and cement, and he transports that all over the world. I remember watching an interview with him, and he's like, he wants to be the largest cement, producer in the whole world. So he definitely has, some big goals. Then also with Mr. Dangote, he does a lot of giving back to, the community, with schools and just really helping a lot of social causes, within his community. But if you want to Google him, he's got quite a few interviews up on, YouTube, or Google him for some articles. But definitely an awesome guy. Next up, we have Mike Adingua. I apologize, Mike, if you're watching, if I'm slandering your name. Not the best with pronunciations at times, but he's coming in at $4.3 billion, also from Nigeria. And, he got his start at Coca-Cola. He was working there for a bit. And then he linked up with, the former president of Nigeria, and he kind of took him under the wing, and, he got into the oil business, and he was pretty much the first person to, distribute, oil in large commercial quantities, and that is how, he built his massive empire. And recently he's got into the telecommunications game and looking to dominate that also. But if you want some more information, like I said, Google him, look him up. He has a lot going on, and him also does a lot of work, within the communities, giving back, millions and millions of dollars to the community to basically make it a better, social place, in his world. So that's a little bit about Mike, and now we'll go on to the next person. And next up, we have Patrice Mostep, coming in at $2.7 billion from South Africa. And he was actually South Africa's first Black billionaire. And he was also a lawyer by trade, and then he took the trade. He became a partner at his, one of the top law firms there, and then he went into mining. He, got some really good contracts in mining, and that's how, he built his massive empire in South Africa. And he's been expanding all over the place. And then once again, Another person who cares about giving back and has donated millions and millions of dollars to different, charitable, organizations, and really making a difference within the community. Next up, we have a woman on the list, Foloronsho Alekija. Apologize if I'm saying that wrong too. She's coming in at $3.3 billion, also hailing from Nigeria. And, she started, quite humbly, and, she built her way up. She started working, and then she got into the oil business. And she also had, close ties to the government, and, they awarded her, certain contracts, which, absolutely changed her whole business and her life. And so, as time went on, she just kept building and building up. But she's also into fashion. She has one of the biggest fashion companies of high-end clothing, catering to, the wealthy and, the well-to-do people within, the African community. So that is also one of her big businesses. And, she went through some turmoil to make sure she reigned and, controlled power over her, her oil empire, because I know she had some things go on, but she has, regained it back in the court, and she's coming in today at $3.3 billion. So she is the richest black woman in the world, even richer than Oprah, but we'll see her next on the list. Next up, we have Oprah Winfrey coming in at $2.7 billion, representing the United States. And I'm not going to go into her too much because I'm sure most of you are familiar with Oprah. She started out, quite humbly, got into broadcasting, and then just basically owned the game in, the television and, the television arena. Now she has her own network, and she's working, that with her own, it's called OWN Network, and I'm really happy and proud of her and everything that she's accomplished. And I know for a fact how big, she is with giving back. She puts a lot of her heart and soul into, bettering other people's lives. I saw one of her tweets the other day talking about how, so many people, that she put through school are graduating, and that was just like, these are like my kids. And I could tell she was really passionate and happy about giving back and giving someone an opportunity that might not have had it, without her. So, big shout out to Oprah, and, Google Oprah if you want, but, there's tons of information on Oprah, and, she's not the reason why I did this. I wanted to give light to, the other people that you're not familiar with. Not taking anything away from Oprah, but, we already know Oprah, she's just amazing, and we already know that. So, but let me continue with this list. So next we have Mo Ibrahim, and he's coming in at $1.1 billion. And he made, his money in telecommunications, and his telecommunication company is within 23 countries within Africa and the Middle East. And he actually sold it in 2005 for $3.4 billion. And he's just been making other investments and keeping his money moving. And what you'll also find out probably more about Mo is he gives back to the community, especially the Sudanese community. And you'll see he's doing programs out there that really develop leadership and solving leadership problems within the community, and he puts his money where his mouth is, for sure. So if you want to find out more info on Mo, just Google him. You see his name, and you'll see links to some of the sites that they have below. But that's it for here. We got 2 more people to go, and I'm excited to share. Next up is Michael Lee Chin, and he's of the Jamaican and Chinese descent, and Canadian. He grew up in Canada, and he made his money through investments, largely through mutual funds in his company. And he has a lot of real estate holdings. The guy is just an absolute powerhouse. So if you want to get more information on him, and also he gives back a lot also. I'm mentioning that because it's so true with a lot of these guys. They give back to their communities and doing things that are making a difference for the future. So that's enough about Michael. If you want some more information, go ahead, Google him. There's actually quite a bit of information out there on him. I want to get to our last and final person and wrap it up. And this last person is no stranger to anyone watching. more famous than even Oprah. We're talking about Michael Jackson. I know he's passed on, but a lot of times, there's been a lot of misinformation out there, and I'm not in, their bank accounts and their financial status, but, the information that I've dug up at the time of death when they calculated all of his net worth, his investments, his holding, his Beatles collection, and everything going on, and the other companies that he had. I found R.I.P. Mike, greatest to ever do it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this, learned something. Stay tuned, subscribe. I'm actually going to be doing individual videos of each of these individuals, so you can learn more about them in detail. But I just urge you, go out, learn more about their stories. They're so inspiring and so refreshing to see, basically my people, your people, whoever's watching, in a positive light. So that's it. This is Jabril from Jabril.com, and if you want to come check me out on Facebook, feel free to. But that's it. Take care, and make it a great week, great year, and end the year strong, since I'm shooting this at the end of 2012 here in December. Take care and make it a great day.